If you like this video, make sure to visit our Vimeo page and follow us to get the latest update.
Hello, all. Good morning. So let us have some short discussion on previous topics, and then we can move ahead with new topics. Okay. So what are the topics we discussed yesterday?
Introduction of SAP and the quality management.
Okay. So what are the different types of phases in ASAP methodologies? Can we have short discussion on that? Hello. Anyone?
Yeah, there are 5 stages, because
Yeah.
project preparation phase,
Mm-hmm.
and in the business blueprint phase, realization phase, final preparation, and then the go live and hypercare support.
Okay. So what we will do in project preparation phase?
So only the high level management will be involved in that. They'll do the kickoff meeting, and then the schedule will be decided,
Mm-hmm.
and cost and all will be decided there.
Okay. So which is the phase where we do the development everything? What is that phase called?
It's in the realization phase.
Okay. So when you need to freeze all the requirements, everything in each phase?
BBP.
Final,
Sorry.
final
Okay. Final preparation phase. Okay. Fine. And what is a quality? And why you need a quality management to be implemented in your organization? Anyone?
To avoid
because
we improve the customer satisfaction of
Okay.
and uh, ensure the zero defects.
Yes. So zero defects, and to ensure the product is delivered as per the customer requirements, to ensure the process is as per specifications with zero defects. Yeah, thereby you, and to have quality checks in each every stage of the life cycle of a product manufacturing. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, so you can see my screen, right?
Sorry.
You guys can see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So quality management is integrated with which modules, and why we need to integrate QM with other modules here?
for quality checks on the for material
Okay.
checks and inspections.
Okay. So what are the modules is integrated with quality management?
PP, MM, SD, FI,
Okay.
and PM also it is integrated.
Okay. 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 Fine. So as we discussed yesterday, so main feature is satisfaction to the customer, and so whatever the expectations in the market, so with quality we can achieve that, and using this quality management in the organization quality process, so we can produce defect free goods, and so it will help in faster and better delivery of goods and services, because we are following the process in each and every stage, so that to avoid any delays. Okay. So if defect free production and no customer returns, then it will lower cost, production cost, and also the maintenance cost. Okay. And basically it will have more advantage at organization level, so it will add more value to the money. Okay. So as we discussed, it's a predefined ISO certified everything, whatever the ISO standards is predefined in the quality management, so that we can straight away go to the market, and SAP can say that this is, we already maintained all the required standards, whichever it is, so that you can implement this quality management module, and it is across the world, right? Quality management module is by default it will be approved because all the legal requirements, everything is as per the ISO standards. It was designed. Okay. So as we discussed yesterday, QM is integrated with MMPP, SD, and FI. Okay. And we discussed the overview also. And yeah. So so okay. Let us start. So we discussed these functions in QM also. So I'll take you through again. I'll start from here again. So quality planning. So quality planning. So majorly in quality planning, you need to plan what are the required master data is required based on your business process. Means what kind of inspections is required. What is the business process where QM is integrated and where QM plays a key role. Based on that, we need to plan our data. So that's where the quality planning function plays a key role to design the master data, and so to set up a master data which supports the transactional data during your business process execution in day-to-day activities. Okay, based on the quality planning, quality inspection will uh, based on quality planning we will decide how to do the quality inspection. So whether it is a raw material inspection or finished product inspection or customer returns inspection or delivery inspection, whatever it may be inspection, you need to have a proper master data to be set up, and it is planned in the quality planning function. So once quality planning is done and quality inspection is done, and for the finished product, quality certificate is must to be supplied to the customer whenever you're delivering a product. That quality certificate relevant information is supported by quality certificate function in QM. Okay, during the process or any vendor defect, means vendor defect to be recorded, or any customer returns is to be recorded. So that kind of informations, that kind of notification or kappa actions, corrective and preventive actions, will be taken care by quality notification function. And quality control is basically uh, based on your inspections, based on your notifications. If you want to see, so what is the trend for this particular material, how many rejections happened, how many acceptance inspections happened, and from the vendor how many rejections happened, how many acceptance happened, how much of quantity of material is rejected, and this kind of analytical reports you can see in quality control function. And the quality cost also will come under the quality control. So test equipment management is used for calibrating your lab equipments. So like inspection for the products, for lab equipments also it is to be inspected for 1 year or 2 years, depends on the life cycle of that equipment. This is also part of ISO standards. So to make sure that, so we are inspecting this, we are calibrating this equipment, and we are making sure that every 6 months we are inspecting this. Based on that, we can inform to the audit team that so and so is inspected, and we are getting the accurate results. To support that audit or compliance process, we need a calibration process also to be implemented for quality equipments or lab equipments, whichever is using in the process of quality inspection. Next is a stability studies. So stability study is a shelf life study. Okay. So here in stability studies, we will decide this particular product. We will decide this particular product. How this is the expiry date. See, normally every product is have a expiry date. Food product, or you can tablets, medicines, or anything related to the processing chemicals or pharmaceuticals or medical devices. So there we have a expiry date. That expiry date is decided by the stability studies. So this is used in the part of R&D process, and after production, so they will store this sample and they will analyze every 6 months, every 10 months, like that. There is a stability plans will be there. So every time they'll inspect and they'll decide this particular product is having 2 years of lifespan. So the shelf life expiry date from the date of manufacturing is, this is the uh, SLED. So you need to use before this. SLED's shelf life expiry date, or it will also called as best before date. Okay, BBD. Any questions here?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So as we discussed, this is the quality planning function where all the master data required for a quality inspection is defined here. First is the material master. So material master, see, material is a material or a product. In SAP, it is alphanumeric character. It will be created in a material will be created. Now currently MDG team with S4 HANA, most of the companies are implementing MDG, master data governance, where material is maintained by central management team. So there will be a central team who maintains all the materials. Okay, the basic data 1 and basic data 2 will be maintained by MDG team. Whenever there is a specific fields, so they will maintain those fields are maintained by MDG team. That means client level, we will decide some of the fields is across, means client level in the sense we have multiple plants, but we need a material for some of the fields. For the material, we should have a data similar to each and every plant. I mean, same data has to be maintained for all the plants and applicable for all the plants. These kind of fields they'll identify, and the access will be given only to the master data governance team. No one in the business can change directly by logging into the SAP system those kind of fields. Okay, so like that, whenever there is a material to be created, MDG team S4 HANA, if MDG team is there, otherwise master data team will create a material. So this material will have a different views in SAP, right? So each view will have its own functionality. Okay, so these are the views. So each view will have its own functionality here, its own business process here. So this basic data 1, basic data 2. So this will be created always by MDG team or master data governance team, and they will release this material to that. They will release this material for the further maintenance of data. So if this material is initial product and it is required to be uh, delivered or sell to the customers, then we'll maintain the sales organization data. Okay, and if it is a material to be produced, then we'll maintain the MRP1, MRP2, MRP3, MRP4. Okay, or if it is required to be planned, then advanced planning, extended SPP, something we'll maintain. If it is only procurement, then we'll maintain purchasing, and if it is required to be considered for planning, again we'll maintain for MRP planning here. Okay, so this if this is a batch maintained and it requires a shelf life data to be updated automatically, then this general plant and storage data will be maintained. So and each metal is having will have a price. The stock, everything requires some casting to be updated in your plant. In that case, you will maintain this accounting 1, accounting 2, and costing tab. If its material is WM maintained, then WM warehouse management is also will be activated. If warehouse management not in place, then WM will not be activated. So similarly, the material is created, and on the other things based, if this material undergoes the material manage, I mean purchasing, then purchasing we will maintain. Production views will be maintained. Sales views will be maintained. Then decision will be taken by the team whether this material required inspection, because in an organization it is not required that every material required to go under quality inspection. So business will decide our quality along with the quality team. So which materials, based on the importance of the materials, which material should undergo the quality management. So for that materials only we will activate the quality management module. Okay, so in quality management, for this material, Okay. So for this material, we will activate inspection setup data. So this is very important. Without this inspection setup, your quality management is not active. If you maintain the view without inspection setup, no quality will happen for this material. So remember this point, this very important point. Okay. So once you activate inspection setup, this check mark will be updated here. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Yes.
If you click this button, so here you have to decide for this material what type of inspections to be done for this. Okay, so I'll take you through that configuration later, but just I will give some overview here. So if you sorry, yeah, so these are the inspection types which are available in standard, and some are the custom also is there because this is a test system. Normally standard is 01, 01, 01 and 0102, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 14 for plant maintenance, calibration inspection, 16 for stability studies, and 17 for EWM related, 18 is ad hoc. So these are the available inspections you have. If you decide that this is a raw material, it requires only purchase QM in procurement related inspection types, then you have to activate. If it is GR for purchase order, then 01 inspection you need to be activated. And if it is a stock transfer inspection also applicable for here, then 08 has to be activated. Okay. So in backend configuration for each inspection time, there is a predefined parameters will be there. We will discuss this part later. Okay. So if you click on this 08, okay, so 08 relevant parameters will be maintained. So first thing, inspection type is activated for this material because this is a raw material, and I will activate 01 and 08 inspection because whenever there is a goods receipt for order is happening, I need to be inspected for this material. Whenever there is a plan to plant transfer, stock transfer order will be stock transfer PO will be created, or intercompany PO will be created. I still want inspect for that particular material, then 08 I'll activate it. Okay, so clear here till now? Any doubts?
Oh.
Okay, and here we have QM material authorization key. So you can control quality related activities based on this QM material authorization key. Okay, so this plays major role during results recording. If you need any uh, means 4I we will call it as a 4I principle. So we can restrict with this only QA. We have two department, QA quality assurance and quality control team. Quality assurance team is responsible for doing the results everything. Quality control team is responsible for doing the usage decision. Means that a manager level they will check whether the results are correct, then usage decision will be done. So to maintain that, here we will maintain authorization key and we will divide the authorization. So this set of users will do only results recording. This set of users will do only usage decision. That kind of control you can do based on this material authorization key. Okay, and you can give access. For example, in a plant, there is only one plant in an organization, and you want set of materials to be inspected only by particular users, and set of materials need to be inspected only by particular business users. In that case, you can maintain this material authorization key. You can create two material authorization keys. You can give one for this set of users and other materials for other set of users. Okay, so that control you can do here, and also the signature process you can activate during results recording, and usage decision can be done by maintaining this material authorization key. Okay, clear?
So we know how we can maintain. So for example, so for usage decision, some of the users will be perform that in that case. So we will create one particular key for that, and we will maintain the some email ID
that
symbol part, we
no
can
no no
assign.
no. Wait, that will be taken care by the authorization team, security team. Okay, you need to give this material authorization key and the object supporting to this material authorization key. Means we need to give, this is the material, this is the authorization key. If this the authorization key is there, then we can restrict based on this authorization object, so which will be done by security team. That is not part of our functional job. We will give the data to the security team, they will restrict that authorization, but this plays a major role here. And
Okay.
this key is a configuration, I'll show you in that. Here you can activate results recording, means a digital signature for result recording and usage decision. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
along with that you can restrict the authorization also. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, then here procurement data. So this is one important thing which if you want to activate some procurement functions. Okay, so this tab plays a key role over there. So and here this is important point, you can note down this point. This QM in procurement active, if you activate this checkbox, okay, you can see my screen, you can see my pointer, right? This checkbox QM in procurement active, if you activate this checkbox, that means this material, for this material across the client, if there is a number of plants, for all the plants it is active, because this is a client value, client dependent field, this one. If you activate for one plant, this will be activated for all the plant, means all the plants in the client. Okay, clear?
So it is activated means that, for example, if we activate this particular checkbox, then whenever we do the goods receipts, then the particular stock will go to quality inspection, or how
No,
it
no,
will.
wait, I have not came to that. Okay, this is different totally. So your question is depends on your inspection setup. Based on
Yes.
your inspection setup, you will decide whether stock required to be in quality stock or not. This is additional functions which you are activating during your procurement process. Okay, let me complete, then you will get clarity. But your question is relevant for inspection setup. Okay, when you activate the inspection setup, then it will go to Q stock based on your inspection type. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So if you activate this, then the entire for all the materials, means which wherever you activated for all the materials, it is applicable at a client level. Then if you activate this, then this QM control key and certificate type is a mandatory. Wait, let me go in change mode. Okay, so if you activate this, then you need to define here QM control key. Okay, what is a QM control key? Okay, so QM control key plays a key role in deciding what are the functions to be active during your procurement process. So this is a configuration part where you need to define in the customization. So I'll take you through the configuration also, which is relevant for your master data. Okay, please let me know wherever you got it, you have any doubt, you need a further clarification. Okay, from now on I need more interactive, because if you get more clarity on the master data, then only you can implement QM. Okay, without knowledge on master data, it is very difficult. So results recording usage decision is a simple process, but for doing that you need to have a more clarity on the master data part. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So in SPRO you have a QM in logistics part. Okay, Under that you have QM in procurement. So here you have defined control keys for QM in procurement. So already these are the control keys predefined. If you want to create a control key, you can select any one or copy, or you can create with the new entries. Okay. So there are different functions here. So I'm selecting the all functions. Let's see what are the indicators, supportive indicators here. So if you activate this key here, okay, then all these functions will be active for your material during your procurement process. Okay. So here document control, technical delivery terms and quality agreement required. That means we are saying to the this will be decided by discussion with the purchasing team. So we are saying to the purchasing team, for this material I need a technical delivery terms from the vendor, and this is my quality agreement required. So we have a vendor terms. Okay. It's this is majorly discussed in purchasing process whenever you are procuring a material from a vendor. So as per our company standards, so we some technical delivery terms will be maintained between a vendor and the purchasing team, and quality agreement. So we have a agreement will be defined. So there will be a pre-agreement will be defined and agreed with both the parties. So that kind of documents we required. That's what we will maintain here. And here QM control in procurement. This is only for document control. Okay. This is during the process control. Means release required. Okay. Release required in the sense I will discuss more on this part whenever during our QM in procurement process. We will create a quality info record. In that we will maintain release required in the sense I will say to the system, this vendor is released only until this particular period. That means this vendor, you can procure a material from this vendor only for 6 months of period of time. So if you activate this material and quality info record based on the quality required info record created for material vendor combination, system will check whether the vendor is still valid, means vendor is still in a release status, because 6 months is a time period. So if I want to check, I need to check manually. Instead of the system itself will give that during purchase order creation itself, system says that this vendor is expired or this vendor is blocked because the release date is completed for this vendor. Okay, then decision has to be taken whether we need to extend this vendor or we need to block this vendor. That type of functionality this release required will give. Okay, certified required. Okay, so how we are uh, in a manufacturing company, how a certificate will be created by quality department and sending to the customer. Whenever we are procuring a material, the vendor will send the certificate to us. Okay, so to have that check during purchase or during the goods receipt for the purchase order, if you activate this checkbox, certificate required, then system will check whether the certificate is received or not at the time of GR. So purchasing team has to enter that value, yes or no. Okay, so that functionality will be activated by the certificate required checkbox. Clear? Okay. Yeah. So block invoice. So if you want to block invoicing for the vendor, you can activate this block invoice. This is message control lock. Okay. If you don't have this, any of the above is not fulfilled, then we are saying to message mode is error. We have here warning, information and error. If you want to not to proceed further with this vendor, if the above controls is not fulfilled, then you can keep error. No, we need just a warning message. We don't want any error. Then you can give warning message. If it is information message, you can give information message. Then system will give so and so is not received, or like that system will give. Okay, based on the message type. If it is error, system will not allow us to move further until unless the procurement team fulfilled above controls. Okay, clear?
Yeah, so one of the if we check any one of these boxes, so for example, this certification required, we check this particular checkbox is ticked. Then we don't receive any certificates. Then the message mode will, whatever the message mode we kept, that one that will pop up there.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, and this is source inspection control. So majorly we will not use the source inspection process in each and every company during implementation. So this is a special process actually. So this source inspection is inspection for the purchase order itself. It's not for the GR from the vendor. Whenever there's a purchase order created, then vendor sends a sample, or our business team will go to the vendor location and do the inspection. To capture that inspection, we will have a source inspection 0101. Okay, so here you have to decide whether after GR you need again inspection lot to be created, or you don't want to do any inspection for the GR. That kind of control you can go. Okay, so that control you can maintain
Yeah,
here.
so another question here. So for example, if we maintain the message mode as error,
Hmm.
so it will block the entire GR process, correct? So where can we check? So we have to check in where we can check that one particular one is blocked or not.
No, you
So
will
for
get on the
example,
screen itself, right? You will get on the screen itself immediately during the GR. You will get during the
GR it
PO. You will get the error message. So we need to the supporting functionalities will be there. Okay. So for example, if certificate required is not updated, then one error message will come. If you keep yes or no, there is a box will be there. Certificate receipt confirm. Yes or no. If you keep yes, then error message will be removed. If you keep no, error message will be removed, but some data has to be maintained there. Okay,
no.
we'll see that process. Okay, you got it right now.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, so now you can have a doubt. See, I have multiple plans, 3 4 plans I have, but I don't want certificate or these quick procurement functionalities for 2 plans. I need only for 2 plans. In that case, how you will decide? Because I have activated already for one material, one all functions, but I don't want to this type of functions to other material. In that case, what you guys will do? Any idea? Or
Any functions in another material?
same material you have in 4 plans. Only 3 plans require this quality and procurement related functionalities, and one plant I don't want have. I don't want to have any. I don't want to activate any such functionalities. How you can do that? Just a guess.
For other plants, control key we will use 000.
Yes. Okay. So you can create one dummy. Okay. Without any functionalities, just you give that control key 00, or you can define your own control key for that is called a dummy one. Okay. Because every time if you activate for one plant, system will expect this procurement value for all the plants. So to have the to smooth flow and to avoid this error messages, we will create one dummy key for that materials for which plants this kind of activities is not required. Okay. And the certificate type. Okay, and here you have a certificate type. Okay, so this certificate type is plays a key role again during your vendor certificate. Okay, this is not your finished product certificate, quality certificate. This is functionality of vendor certificate. Okay, don't be confused here. Whenever you are procuring a material, so how you need to I mean, how you have a functionality to be activated during your GR process for the raw material. Clear? This certificate is a raw material certificate related. Okay. So here you have certificate for each PO item. So you need to have a certificate for each PO item, or you need to have a certificate for each GR item. Okay, that you can give. So whether certificate check required. So whether you need to have a certificate check required, then this check mark has to be activated during the GR process. So if you procuring a material without a certificate, how you need to uh, react? So how system has to react? That information we'll give here. So here we have different options. Without lot, blocked stock, or with lot, status means certificate is missing. Okay. Without lot, blocked stock, or with lot, error message. So these are the additional functionalities will be there here. So you can decide here. Okay. So based on this activity, I mean, whatever you maintain here. So during the GR, that kind of means whenever the goods shift happen for that particular purchase order, this plays a key role. Okay. Okay. And if no certification confirmation at GR, you can keep it here. Our enhanced certification process is different. Okay. So where through third party we'll get a certificate, but I will not go through this, but majorly we'll have these functionalities only here. Okay. Clear now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the importance of procurement data. So first part is inspection setup, and this procurement data will be maintained only for only for raw materials. For finished product and semi-finished product, you don't want to maintain this procurement data. Okay. And here we have
So
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So if we activate the QM in procurement, we have activated that checkbox, but we didn't maintain any QM controller key. Then what will happen? It will.
You test it. Okay. Test it, and you will see
Okay.
the difference. Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you know. Okay. But you test it. Without maintaining that, you are just save it and relog in. Then system will ask you to maintain these things. Okay. But you can test it.
What is the use of target QM system field?
What field?
Target QM.
Target QM system. Okay. Yeah, this field is not it will not be used across means majorly will not use this one, because here we have a target systems, means whatever the ISO standards we uh, what we call discussed, right? So that kind of target systems will create. So ISO 9001 with certificate, ISO 9002 with certificate, ISO 9003 like this. There will be some target QM systems will be created. If you maintain that, okay, for this material, so system will check, okay, whether our quality certificate, I mean this ISO standards is I mean what we call these, whether this ISO standard related system certificates are received. This is just information purpose, and based on this you can skip the inspection also. That plays a major role in quality info records. Okay, but majorly will not use this, because most of the vendors will not have this kind of ISO standards and certificates, and we cannot skip the inspection for all the vendors. That's why majorly will not use. The only wherever it is applicable, we'll use this target QM system. Okay, QM system is ISO standard related QM system will maintain here. Okay, so this is a technical delivery terms. So some technical delivery terms documentation is required. Then if we, that is required, this will be activated here. It's a document control majorly. Okay, and here one more field is there, inspection interval. So this plays a major role for recurring inspection, deadline monitoring. So we'll discuss the importance of this field during the deadline monitoring or recurring inspection process. Based on this data here, next inspection date will be decided. Okay. So these are the important fields which needs to be maintained from QM point of view. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Yeah. And the next is inspection methods. Okay. So inspection method is another set of master data. So which is used in layman term, inspection method is a test procedure. Okay. So there is a SOPs, standard operating procedures. Okay. And there is a test operating procedures. So this material should be inspected so and so characteristics, and each characteristic to be inspected with so and so methodology. So these kind of test procedures will be predefined for each and every product in any organization. Okay, for the quality management. There one particular master data item that can be fulfilled by test inspections. I mean inspection methods. Okay. So you have a transaction code QS31 or 33. I'll go to display mode. Okay. So you can give a number or alphanumeric key here. So here you can create a short text for easy identification, or there is a in some organizations you will have a code will be there for each test. You can give that code here, and that respective document can be attached here. So you can select any document and you can attach here. Okay. But the document has to be created first in the system, then only you can attach. Okay. So here you have languages also, you can give that languages. And if you want to have a classification, you can give what type of class to be attached here for this method version. Okay. So majorly we will attach a document, because the document procedure, instead of maintaining manually, so we are digitalizing that document now. So just one click, you can see that document for the what is the test procedure, everything. And this can be directly assigned to your characteristic, or inspection method can directly assign to the inspection plan. Okay, clear? Any doubt here? Any doubts?
No.
Yeah, thank you. So that is about inspection methods. Okay. The third important master data is catalogs. Okay, catalogs. What is a catalog? So, okay, catalog. Why? What is the important? Why you need a catalog here? See, we have in quality, we have two different types of characteristics. One is quantitative characteristic, and is a another one is a qualitative characteristic. So quantitative characteristics is a measurable characteristics. Okay. Qualitative characteristic is not a measurable characteristics. It's a physical characteristics. Physical characteristics in the sense. So if you go to the food industry, how you will inspect the food industry? Means if you want to taste something, so you cannot measure the taste, right? You need to taste that. So whether salt is more, or what is the color of that product, what is the color of the food. These kind of things will be there. We cannot measure them, but we can identify them. So those are physically we need to identify by seeing, by touching, by tasting. So these kind of information, if you want to store or you want to enter during your results recording, capturing this result, you need to have a predefined codes to be created. Okay. So for example, taste is a, I'll create one taste as a code group. Okay. So in the taste, sweet, bitter is my codes. Okay. So I'm saying that this particular code group taste is having some sweetness, okay, some bitterness, okay, and if it is accepted or rejected. By seeing itself, we can say this shirt is not good. Okay, this shirt is rejected. So I can say, but how I can, how we need to say to the system these kind of character to support these kind of characteristics, and for entry of results for this kind of characteristics, which is a physical characteristics, non-measurable characteristics, we need to define a set of codes linked to a code group. Okay, clear? We can see that in the system now, how we'll create a code group and codes. There. So you can, if you go to the logistics, quality management, under the quality planning, all these master data relevant transactions are there. Basic data. So we have seen inspection method before. Now catalog. Under that you have code group and selected set. Now I am going to the code group. So QS41 is your creation and QS42 is the display. So here, and one more important thing is you have different types of catalogs. Okay, one is characteristic attribute, two task, three usage decision. So this is important question also for you. So what kind of catalog types used for result analysis? So catalog type is one, okay, which is a characteristic attribute. Whichever code groups you are creating under characteristic attribute one, so those codes are used for creating a selected set for the results analysis. Okay, and the tasks is for notification part. For usage decision also you need to have a code groups to be created. So like accepted, rejected, blocked. Okay, these kind of things based on the business terminologies we can create a codes with code group. Okay, events, causes, effects, activities, defective types, these and all supporting to our notification part. But majorly the important things is like 1 and 3. More majorly we'll concentrate on 1 and 3 because these two are plays a major key role in your quality inspection process. One is for results recording and 3 is for during your usage decision. Okay, so characteristic attribute, and these are the predefined. See here we have a color. Color is my one of the code group. Under color I have, see, different codes. Okay, red, brown, light red, medium red, dark red, violet. See, like this I'll create n number of codes here under one group color. Okay, so from these codes I'll create multiple sets which is required for my inspection process. We'll see that in selected set first. Okay, here in this transaction we'll create one code group. Under one code group you will create different codes. Okay, you got it now? Can I move to the next topic? Okay, and one more thing here, one more important point is this code groups codes are client level. Okay, if you create here it is applicable for all the plants which is at a client level. Okay, now selected set. Sorry, can you go on mute? Okay. So selected sets. So selected sets will be created at a plant level. Whatever selected set you are creating, it is applicable only for that particular plant. So you cannot use that selected set to the other plant inspections until unless you have the authorization for that particular plant. Okay. So selected sets usually created from the codes. So you have created one Q quality 01 is my selected set. And if I click on selected set codes, so here how we will create is like if you go to change, okay, new entries.
Selected.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Here you will get an option. So whatever codes you created before under code group, so all that code groups will be displayed over here. So you defined a color before, okay? So under color, these are the code groups. And under visual inspection, I have these are the codes. So I can choose red from here, okay? I can choose rough and smooth from here. So I can select any set of combinations, okay, during my selected set creation, okay. So these are code groups and codes which is applicable at the client level. From that set of codes and code groups, I'll create one a selected set. So after selecting your as per your requirement, just click copy. Then those will be created over here. And here one more important thing is like you need to provide the valuation for this. If red is, what is your result? Whether it is accepted or rejected. If smooth is, whether it is accepted or rejected. That kind of information you have to give here. Okay. So if it is rejected, you need to give a defect class. So whether it is a critical defect or major defect, minor defect, that kind of information you have to give. Okay. Based on this, quality level will be created. So like this, you can create n number of selected sets based on your business requirement. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
So basically, selected set is a combination of the codes from the different code groups having the
Yes.
same catalog.
Same catalog. Oh, characteristic attribute. Yeah. Is my understanding correct? You're referring to this catalog?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So characteristic attribute. Yeah. So you catalog type you can mention. It's not a catalog. Catalog type, characteristic attribute. Okay. So we'll have a question like what is the catalog type we'll use during results recording. Then you can say that characteristic attribute. Okay. Catalog is the name of a master data. Okay. Now we'll see usage decision. Why you need a usage decision selected set. Okay. So this UD01, 03, these are the predefined by SAP itself. No longer valid. Okay. So here UD01. So these are the selected sets. Again, same like we are seen for selected set. I mean, for characteristic attribute. Similarly, we will create usage decisions also by selecting the set of codes here. Okay. But here, one important thing is like you will create a valuation data. So how your usage decision to be behave when you selected this particular code during the usage decision. How system has to behave for that particular inspection lot, whether it has to be accepted, whether it has to be rejected, whether it has to be blocked, or whether it is returned to the delivery. That kind of information we'll create, and we will provide a valuation criteria for that code. So if I select A1 code, so I'm saying to the system to accept OK. A2 accepted unrestricted minor quality defect, still we can accept it. Okay. So this is set of based on your discussion with the business, we can decide how many codes can be created here for that selected set. Okay. If rejected blocked, then what is your valuation criteria? So rejected, not okay. Okay. This is the first case. Second case is here one more proposal will be there, posting proposal. Okay. So here you have a drop down and there are many options is here. If you are accepting this one, what is your proposal? This is automatic proposal actually. So if you maintain a proposal codes here, whenever you do the usage decision for and maintain this particular code over there, automatically the stock movements will happen. So it is not required manually. You can to post. It's not required. System will decide automatically whether to go to unrestricted use or whether to go to blocked stock. Okay. So these kind of functionalities will be predefined here. If I select OK, then unrestricted use. If select not OK, to unrestricted use. Not OK, then to blocked stock. Okay. And you can define the score also here. If A1 100%, 100 is my quality target score. If A2 90, if A3 100, A9 100. If it is rejected, then only 1. Okay. So we will define the quality level from 1 to 100. Okay. And we have some long-term characteristics. Okay. So if you want to consider that long-term characteristics or not, that also you can give here. So, but majorly we do not consider. So if you consider that, then system will not do the stock posting because still that long-term inspection is pending. Because of that reason, because here we have a scenario, we can discuss that. Just I'm giving overview. There are some situation where the inspection of that characteristic, one characteristic of a material will takes like 3 months, 4 months. But you cannot hold that particular material in quality until this characteristic result is completed. In that situation, we will have that characteristic as a long-term characteristic, and we'll do the usage inspection everything. Then we will proceed further. Once that characteristic result comes, then we will complete the usage decision process. Okay, we'll see that. Clear right now? So you got the thing right here, how the selected sets will be created, code groups and codes will be created.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what is the difference between codes, code groups and selected sets? Major difference? Anyone from the group?
Yeah, the code and code groups we are created at client level.
Mm-hmm.
But in selected set, we have maintained at plant level, sir.
Okay. The other one? There is one more important point.
So in selected set, we can combine any two code groups.
Okay. So based on the codes, you'll create a selected set by combining. Okay. One more important point. This is a major point I'm expecting from the team.
In selected set, we can decide whether it is accepted or not, like that.
Yes,
We can.
you are maintaining valuation criteria. That is the main thing with the usage of selected set. So without valuation criteria, code and selected set both are same. But why
Yes,
you
yes.
needed two different type of codes here? So in selected set, we will define a valuation criteria during results recording or usage decision how you need to evaluate a material based on the selection of your code. That will define in the selected set. This is very important question on the catalogs. Okay. Okay, clear? I'm moving to the next master data topic, master inspection characteristics. Okay. So master inspection characteristics is parameters basically. So you want to inspect any material, you need a set of characteristics. Okay. Like for example, if you inspect a chemical, then you need to have a water content in that, sodium, for example, sodium content. There's some characteristics based on the product. Actually, I'm giving some examples, real-time examples. So there will be pH value, water content in a liquid, or if it is in any mixing of chemicals, what is the sodium content in that? What is the iron content in that? So these kind of characteristics will be predefined. Okay. So they'll have their own SOPs. So what are the characteristics we inspected in a particular for the particular product? So based on the SOPs, we will identify for each material what are the characteristics to be inspected. Okay. The test procedure, whichever we discussed before, which will be created under inspection method, they'll have the set of characteristics. We will identify such kind of all the characteristics relevant for all the products in an organization or in an industry or related to a particular plant. Then we will create those characteristics in the system, because system want to know which are the characters to be inspected. Because of that reason, we need to create that characteristics into the system. Okay. So here we have three types of characteristics in SAP. One is quantitative characteristics. Quantitative characteristics are measurable characteristics, means they will measure with particular equipment, or you can use a basic scale, or you can use a vernier calipers, screw gauges, or you can use any systems for measuring that characteristic values. Okay. And once the measurement is done, that value can be entered in your system as a number. Dimensions characters, length, breadth, area, L into breadth, those kind of things, whichever is measurable, those kind of characteristics will create as a quantitative characteristics. Okay, clear? Any doubt here on quantitative characteristics?
No.
Okay. Now qualitative characteristics. Qualitative characteristics are non-dimensional characteristics, which will be physical characteristics inspected physically by touching, by tasting, by seeing, or by sieving. So those kind of characteristics will comes under qualitative characteristic group. And for to support these qualitative characteristics, we will assign the selected set, whichever we are creating, we have seen just now, will be attached to the qualitative characteristic. During results recording, we will select one of the code group, one of the code from your selected set. It's a red color, blue color, or it is a accepted, or it is a rejected kind of information we will enter during the results recording. That's where the selected set plays a key role for for inspecting the qualitative characteristics. Okay, clear? Third part is class characteristic. So class characteristics is combination of both quantitative and qualitative characteristics. But you will have you can ask me why we have already a quantitative character and qualitative. Why you need a class characteristic again? So the main functionality of the class characteristic, this is important point you can note down. The main importance of the class characteristics is it transfers results whichever you enter during your quality inspection directly to the batch. Okay. So these are also known as batch characteristics actually. So these characteristics majorly defined and assigned to a batch class, and the batch class will be uh, maintained at a material level. Okay. Whenever a batch is created, what are the characteristics? I mean, inspection is done, results recording is done, usage dation is done for that particular batch of the inspection lot. Directly that characteristics, I mean, that results will be transferred to your particular batch and sit and assign to your class characteristics. That's the importance of class characteristic. Okay, clear? Any doubt here? Hello, clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, let us see in the system. So these are the inspection characteristic QS21. Second. Okay, so before going to this characteristic, let me jump to the configuration part again. So you have here basic settings, maintain settings at plant level. Okay, so 1710 is our plant. Select that particular plant. Okay, here first tab is basic data. Here you have master data maintenance. Under that you have master inspection characteristics with history, inspection method with history. Okay, so for each and every change, if you want to have an history management to be activated for that particular master inspection characteristic or inspection method, then you need to check box these two. Then you need to check these two boxes. Okay, so what is this importance is, for example, you have created already a characteristic. Okay, you are changing description of the characteristics in the change mode, then new version of that characteristic will be created. Okay, if you are changing some value, again new version of a characteristic will be created. So you want to have a version management properly, then you need to have a activate this check marks here. But here one drawback is, every time you change the version, you need to change an inspection plan also. Okay, so that also you need to update, because whatever you are changing here, the same version to be there in inspection plan. So that you need to do. Okay, this is one configuration which supports your master inspection characteristics. Okay, so let me go to change. So this is a characteristic of 8 length. You can maintain, see, if you want to have a system generated number, then system also will give a number. Or if you want to have a alphanumeric key of external numbering, so you can enter that and you can create a characteristic here. So if the characteristic is required from which date, then you can give that key date so that the characteristics are valid based on your selection screen date. If any version management is active, every time the version will be created over here. So initially version will be 1 always. If version management is active, then 2, 3, 4 based on your changes, the version number will goes on increase. Okay. Okay. So here this is your master inspection characteristic code, and here you have two options. One is quantitative, one is qualitative. Okay. Characteristic, checkbox is qualitative characteristic. Okay, so then system will activate qualitative relevant control indicators. Okay, I'll show you that difference also. Wait, QM02. Okay, so here see valid from. Okay, date. So if you want to have this valid from 01 01 2022, you can give that date. Okay. Okay, so if you have any If you want to copy from other characteristic, so you can give that information here from other plant, and you can directly create the characteristic also. So this is manual, and this is copy of copy the same data from existing characteristic to the new characteristic. That you can do by entering those information here. Okay. So this is preset indicator. So if it is quantitative, just to select this quantitative. If it is qualitative, select this qualitative characteristic checkbox. So first I'll do the quantitative and I'll show this difference. And here the status is there. Okay. If you create a characteristic and the status is being created, then you cannot use this characteristic and it will not be displayed during your inspection plan creation. So always you have to maintain released. The status should be released. Then only system will allow you to do the to create inspection plan by using this particular characteristic. Okay. So here short text you can give anything as per your requirement. I'm giving pH value and search field. So you want to group this characteristic. Okay. You can give that specific group name as per your requirement. Else you can maintain same. It depends on your requirement. Okay. You see, always this field is a capital letters. It will be whatever value you enter, still it will convert to the capital letters here. Okay, this is just a short search field, but whatever text you are entering here, short text, that will be considered or printed on your quality certificate. Okay, clear? Okay.
Beside of status,
Yes.
field is there.
Beside of status. Wait, I'll come to that.
Okay.
I'll come to that. Okay, so this quantitative, if you click this quantitative characteristic, if you click on the control indicators, see the main important point for your characteristic is your control indicators. How this characteristic required to be behaved. That information as per your business requirement, you need to define the control indicators here. So since it is a quantitative characteristic, see here you have limits, your CPK values we can in business terminology, these lower specific limit and upper specific limits are your CPK values. Okay. So if you maintain lower limit and upper limit, then system will ask you to enter lower limit and upper limit for that particular characteristic. If you maintain only lower limit is minimum limit, upper limit is maximum limit, then system will enable you to enter only lower specific limit. If it's the upper limit you maintain, you can keep upper limit specification limit. Okay. Sampling procedure. Next, we'll go in the next topic, sampling procedure. What is sampling procedure? So now I'll not talk about this, but if you activate this one, we will say to the system that this particular sampling procedure is required for this characteristic. Okay. And this additive sample, destructive inspection and SPC characteristic, it depends on your business process only, we will activate. This we have set of characteristics. Okay. And this is one of the important point you can note down. So in certain business cases, for inspecting one characteristic, I need 5 grams of sample. For other sample, I need 10 grams of sample. Okay. So in that case, I'll give this particular characteristic requires additive sample, means additional sample. The fixed sample is 10 grams, but for this characteristics, I need a 15 grams. In that case, I'll notify to that particular inspection plan creator, this characteristic needs additional sample. So that will be activated by using this additive sample. Destructive inspection. Destructive inspection. If you activate this particular checkbox, this is also one of the important question. whenever there is a during usage decision, whenever the inspection lot is created, your sample size will be 5 grams. Okay, from 100 kg of inspection lot which you received during the purchase order, goods receipt or your finished product, I will collect 5 grams of sample, and that 5 grams of sample will be inspected. So if you want to track that 5 grams of sample is consumed, this destructive inspection checkbox required to be activated. If you activate this during your usage decision stock posting time, automatically that 5 gram sample will go to the sample usage tab. Means that is consumed for your quality inspection. So it should be consumed from your clear. Any doubt still here?
No.
Okay. SPC characteristics. This is the statistical process control characteristic. If you activate this characteristic, then the charts for this, the different types of charts will be there, right? That charts will be activated for this particular characteristic. So you can see the trend for that particular characteristic. That scenario can be activated with SPC characteristic. This is during the results confirmation. Summing recording in the sense, if you have one characteristic, if you are inspecting for one sample for that particular characteristic, it will be summing record. Or if you want to have a single result, in some cases there is for each characteristic there will be 5 samples will be there. Okay, so you want to have a individual result for each sample, then you will maintain a single result. So if you don't want to inspect all the sampling, uh, means if it is a 5 sampling points, sizes will be there. So if you don't want to inspect 5, just one value you need, then summing record will be activated. If single result, the result needs to be entered 5 times for each confirming each sample. If it is summing record, if you have 5 samples or 10 samples for that particular characteristic, still you will enter only one result. Okay. Required means mandatorily you need to enter the value for that particular character. Option means you can skip. Without entering, you can do the usage decision for that inspection lot. If it is required, if you miss the characteristic during your results recording, at the usage decision time, you will get pop-up saying that so-and-so characteristics is still pending for the inspection. That kind of functionality will be activated with characteristic required characteristic. If you activate no characteristic recording, then system will disable entry of result just for information. Some characteristic will be only for your information purpose. No results entry and quality inspection. Such kind of characteristics you can go with no characteristic resulting recording. Okay. After acceptance. So this is a specific case, okay, which we will not use in regular scenarios. After, if you activate this characteristics after acceptance, so system will allow you to enter result for this particular characteristic only your previous characteristic is accepted. Okay, until that system will not allow you to enter the result for this characteristic. Okay, you have 3 characteristic here, A, B, C. Until A characteristic is accepted, B characteristic will not allow you to enter the result if you activate this after acceptance. Okay, after rejection, if ABC characteristic is there, okay, if A characteristic is accepted, then it is not required for you to enter a B characteristic. If A characteristic is rejected and B characteristic is having this after rejection functionality, then system will enable you to enter result for that B characteristic. Okay, you got it right? Till now clear?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Defects recording. So if you want to record the defect for that particular characteristic during results recording, you found that is rejected and you want to have a defect code for that particular characteristic, then you need to activate this defect recording. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, it is not required. So what kind of defect? Why why characteristic is rejected? For supporting that, you will create a defect recording. And this defect recording, if you create, then you need to assign a selected set which is related to your defects. Okay. Inspection scope will always go with a fixed scope because all our inspections will be in fixed scope only. So we'll not have a smaller scope and larger scopes here. So always we'll go to the fixed scope only. And here documentation confirmation. So this is also one of the important thing. So if characteristic is rejected, okay, you want to have a documentation for that. Means some text box will be enabled where you can enter why this particular characteristic is rejected. Okay. Otherwise, you need to have a document for all the characteristic by default. Then you can go with document required. So if only rejected if required document is required, some text to be entered why it is rejected, then you can go with document if rejected of that particular characteristic. If no documentation is required, whether it's accepted or rejected, go with no documentation. Okay. So always the checkbox will be by default record measured values because we will record the results. So before I discussed with you long-term inspection. Okay. So here you need to have a long-term inspection. Means this characteristic is a long-term characteristic which is required sometimes to be inspected. So then we can activate this characteristic, and if you activate this characteristic, if still it is a required characteristic, you can do the usage decision. System will allow the usage decision because system is expecting that this particular characteristic inspection will take some time. Okay, still usage decision can be saved. That kind of additional functionality will be activated with the long-term inspection. Okay. So this is scrap share and Q score. If want to record for this particular characteristic, you can maintain over there. Based on your results recording, this quality score, everything will be updated. And you want any results recording change docs to be updated for this, then you can maintain over here. And any test equipment required to be assigned for this. So in production planning, we have that PRT tools, okay, where you will assign to the operation. Similar way, you have any test equipment is to be assigned for this particular characteristic, you can have this test equipment assignment. But in general, we will not assign any test equipment assignment. And here in miscellaneous, we'll go with majorly record measured values and long-term characteristic. Okay. So whether this characteristic is required to be print on COA, so you can have a print option. If you don't want to print this, so you can give a do not print. And if you want, if any skip inspection lots will be there, you don't want to print this characteristic, then you can do not print at skip. That you can give. Okay. Means skip in the sense if you activate a dynamic modification rule. So in some cases, we'll skip some of the characteristic. So in that case, if you activate this, if the characteristic is skipped, then it's not required to be printed. But always we'll have a print option because whatever we inspect, the characteristic is required to be printed on COA. And you have a formula characteristics, okay? For example, area is my characteristic and my formula is length and breadth. Okay. So how I need to define the formula instead of manually entering by calculating through calculator or through any other device, and to avoid a manual entry for such kind of formula characteristics. Okay, we will select a calculated characteristic here. If you select this calculated characteristic, then this characteristic will enable you during inspection plan creation to enter the formula for that characteristic. Okay, so whatever the formula supporting characters always should be assigned before this characteristic in the inspection plan. So we'll see that also. Okay. So now I'm selecting the qualitative characteristic. So clear, right, for quantitative characteristic? Any doubts?
No.
Okay. So qualitative characteristic. Okay. So see, before you have this upper limit, lower limit, check target value. Okay. Now this particular box is changed. Here this characteristic attribute came. So what is the characteristic attribute here? What is it? What is its importance here for qualitative characteristic? Anyone?
Maintain the catalog.
Yes. So whatever the catalog type we created as characteristic attribute, if you activate this, this enables you to maintain the catalogs of catalog type characteristic attribute. Okay. And remaining everything is same. Only this part will change. Okay. That is the main difference of the both. And here one more thing is record measured values that will be disabled from this screen, and calculation formulas will be disabled. Okay, because this is not a measurable characteristics. Okay, this is the difference between quantitative characteristic and qualitative characteristic. Okay, and I'll show you one more difference now. Okay, now coming to this topic. So complete copy model, incomplete copy model. So okay, now I'm selecting the incomplete copy model and I'm selecting the control indicators, lower specification, upper specification. Okay, enter. Okay, see now there is no difference, right? Incomplete copy model selection. If I'm selecting
Yes.
the complete copy model, see automatically this pop-up came. So why this pop-up came after changing the complete copy model here? Just a guess.
Directly we should give that values here.
Okay,
But,
so the main difference is if you select the incomplete copy model, still the supporting control indicators, you select the supporting control indicators for that characteristic, still system will give an option during the inspection plan you can maintain that information. Okay, so there is some characteristics, okay, where same characteristic will be used for the multiple products during the creation of inspection plan, but but the specifications, this low is different based on that particular product. In that case, we have to define a characteristic as an incomplete copy model, because you will define which value suits for that characteristic with respect to that material during the creation of inspection plan. Okay, this is very important question. Okay, if it is a complete copy model, you need to enter all the information here only for this characteristic, until unless system will not allow you to save this characteristic. And whatever you are entering values here, it will be carry forward to your inspection plan during your inspection plan creation. Okay, clear now what is the difference between complete copy model and incomplete copy model?
yes.
Okay, so now you selected the complete copy model. So here you have these two are mandatory. Okay, first you need to enter minimum 10, maximum 100 is my upper limit, and here you have decimal places. You can decide how many decimal places is required. So 1 2. So based on this decimal place entry here, whenever you're doing a results recording, if 2 decimal places, if you enter a 10, then system automatically considers this decimal places and it will add 10.00. If you are entering a value 10.236, system will what it will do, it will round off to 2 digits and it will give 10.24 is your value. That's the functionality of your decimal place. Okay, unit of measure. So if you want to define the unit of measure, you can define the unit of measures here. Okay, so these are the additional supporting functionalities. Okay, depends on your stringent nets and their SOPs. So first lower limit, second lower limit, this will be maintained. But majorly we need this lower limit and this upper limit. And target value is like we will set up a target value on an average. So this is my target value where I can accept this characteristic. My limit is 100%, but my target is 19.99. Okay, if that target is reached, then I can accept it. That information I can give the target value. Tolerance there will be plus 10%, minus 10% will be there always. So so I can give the tolerance key and I can say that, so still I can accept this particular characteristic. Okay, so there are some deviations will be there for tolerance. Okay, so still if this is the tolerance within this 99%, still I can accept this characteristic. So that's where I'll give the tolerance key here. Okay, this is our complete copy model. Here we have a reference characteristic. Okay, reference characteristic I will explain you when we are creating a class characteristic. Okay, okay, if you are maintaining a qualitative characteristic, then this characteristic is a mandatory. If you click on attribute in characteristic attribute, see now that quantitative tab is disabled from here. Whatever you maintain a maximum limit, minimum limit, and the unit of measure, everything that is removed from here now. Okay, so here you have a catalogs. So here whatever characteristic attribute you have created, okay, smooth something, so you need to select that particular characteristic. So here based on your valuation criteria, so before you have created rough is rejected, smooth is accepted, scratches rejected, dense rejected, miscellaneous rejected. So these will be activated for this particular sorry, I need to select the selected set. Okay, so this will be activated for this characteristic. Okay, if any defect codes is required, you can add that defect codes here. During results recording, if any rejection happened, you need to have a defect to be recorded, then you can enter defect code here. But I need to have a defect regarding to be activated control key, then only system will allow me to add the defects here. Okay, clear, right? Any doubts? So these are the important fields related to qualitative and quantitative characteristic. These are some info fields you have for custom purpose. We can use this, and if you want to have any authorization group to be assigned for this particular characteristics, you can give that. Okay, and any inspector qualification, these are the additional information actually. Okay, for this characteristic, weighing of the characteristic, major characteristic, minor characteristic, this and all information purpose you can give. It will not have any other impacts. Okay, so based on this you can have customized solution, but system will not have any standard impact based on this information stored here. Okay, these are just like additional information and info fields. Now I'll show you the class characteristics. So CT04 is a transaction. CT04. So this is a class characteristic. Okay, I have already created one characteristic. I'll show that. Okay, so here you can create a, as per your requirement, your own description, say 40 characteristics and characteristic group. If you want to group all these characteristics under one characteristic group, you can define that characteristic group and assign here. Okay, characteristic for QM, characteristic for sodium material, sodium product, like that. You can create your own group. Okay. Similar way here also, always it should be released. Okay. So here you have to define whether this is a characteristic format or numeric format or date format or time format. Okay. So majorly we will go with numeric format because our characteristic are measurable characteristics, that is quantitative, and the other one is characteristic format if it is a qualitative. Okay. So now I created a numeric format characteristic, which is a measurable characteristics. Here I can define number of chars. Okay. Chars in the sense total number of allowed characteristics, allowed numbers for this particular characteristic. Okay. So I have given 4 here and 2 decimal places. Okay. See, automatically the template has given 2 00.00. That's where 4 characteristics I can create. Okay. If I give 6 here, see, now it will change automatically. It will give the template. Okay, based on your number and decimal places. If it is 3, you see, again it will change. Okay. This format will automatically update. Doing the results recording, similar format, it will give the result. Okay. So value assignment here. If you want to assign single value or multiple value, you can decide over here. Okay. And in any interval values are allowed, negative values allowed, that information you can give here. Normally we will go with single or multiple values. It's okay. And description, now I have given only English. If you have any other languages, you can maintain that language and you can give that particular description. Here values. Okay. If you have only minimum value, okay, if you have only minimum value, yeah, you need to give greater than or equal to 1 and enter. Okay, see, now automatically it took greater than or equal to 1.30. So total characteristics we have given 4, right? 4, 5. Okay, so automatically that what we call unit of measurement is also taken. So this is how you need to create a minimum value. Okay, if it is maximum value less than or equal to 10 is my acceptance value. Okay, then again it's given 10.00. So total 6 characteristics. Point also it will count. Okay, 3 decimal places and 3 points. Here 2 is a point and point, considering total characteristics is 6. Okay, and it is, sorry, so because it is expecting some documentation, that's why you click. Okay, so if you have maximum and minimum value both, then you have to give 10 space hyphen space 100, enter. Okay, see, so minimum 10, maximum 100. This is your unit of measure. So this is how you need to define your characteristic values here. Okay, clear? Now I'll save this. So this is one more important point. So can we use class characteristic directly into the inspection plan? Okay, answer is no. Class characteristic can be directly assigned to the batch classification, but not for the inspection plan. So if you want to use this class characteristic to be used in the inspection plan, you have to define a class characteristic as a reference master inspection characteristic. Clear? Get it right? Got my point? Hello?
Yes. Okay, got it.
You got my point,
So
right?
we are using the reference characteristics at the time this one is used.
Yes. So whenever you are creating a reference characteristic, you need to give your class characteristic code here, and just if you want to have link to your own characteristic, you can give, else system will create a one number for that. Okay. So I'm giving some characteristic QM003 and I've given a class characteristic here, click enter. Okay. See here, values and control indicators are reset according to the class characteristic. So whatever values you maintain in that class characteristic, it will be automatically copied to your master inspection characteristic. Okay. See now, so I entered pH value there, that is copied over here. Okay. See, this is by default a quantitative characteristic, means measurable characteristic. That's why it is given check quantitative characteristic. So if I click this, there is one message will come. You can only change certain control indicators. And see, by default here, reference characteristic is updated. Okay. So the lower, so there we have entered 10, 100, right? Because of that reason, these characteristics, lower specific limit and upper specific limit is automatically updated over here. So whichever is in enable mode, only such control indicators you can activate. So I will activate a sampling procedure. So summing record, I'll have this characteristic as a required characteristic. Okay. And any additional things is required, then I can maintain this. Okay. Okay. So you can skip this if not tolerance key is required. Otherwise, you can enter the tolerance key. Okay. This will just information purpose it will ask. So whether you need to have any target value, so you can have the target value also here. Otherwise, you just enter. It's not a mandatory field. Okay. Okay. Save. So your characteristic is defined. And if you go to the same characteristic again, you can see here, this is your class characteristic reference with respect to this characteristic. And quantity data is updated. And here one more thing is like these class characteristics will be locked, always locked. Whenever you do the change in the class characteristic, it will be automatically transferred to your inspection plan. Okay, because this is a reference characteristic. Whenever the change in the reference, then it will be locked here. Okay, clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the main difference between these quantitative, qualitative, and class characteristics. Okay. This session today, and Monday we'll start with practical also. Okay. So we'll use the system and we'll create each and every master data, and also we'll proceed with the theory from Monday. Okay. Now sample management part. Okay. Sample management part, we have different types of characteristics. Okay. Let me open. So whatever discussed, I have given in this PPT. Yeah. So sample drawing procedure. Okay. So sample drawing procedure. Whenever you are using a physical sample. Okay. So you want to have a sample number for that particular sampling which you are receiving from the stores, or your quality department will go and pick from the finished product, or from the uh, what we call from the goods received from the purchasing team. So if you want to have that particular record sample number, so always you will have a physical sample number will be created for that in the system. These kind of physical sample creation will be taken by sample drawing procedure. Majorly sample drawing procedure will be used in chemical industries, pharma industries, and processing industries, and processing industries you can consider, where the results will be linked for the physical sample, because physical sample is the object where entire results will be linked for the quality. Okay, so we have a transaction. If you go to logistics, quality management, under that you have quality planning. Um, sorry, inspection planning. Sorry, not inspection. Yeah, sampling, basic data sampling. Under that you have sample drawing procedure. Okay, QPV2. Okay, so this is the name of the sampling drawing procedure. Then if you go to the sample drawing item, so here you can give in which container you want this sample to be collected. Okay, okay, that information you can give unit of your lot container. Okay, that is unit of your lot container. Per day you need to get the sample, weekly sample, just information purpose you can give over here. And here you have a sample containers defined, conical flask, beaker. This is the sample container where you need to collect or take the sample from that particular location. That information you can give. Size factor, whether you need one sample, two sample, three sample, that you can give here. And here number of samples, whether it will be fixed or not, that you can give here. And here you have different samples: primary sample, pooled sample, and reserved sample. So what is a primary sample? Okay, primary sample is whenever there is a goods set for a particular product. I mean, whenever you procure a material or you produce a material, there are different drums will be there, or you get in different pallets. The material will be received in different pallets or drums or bottles, etc. Okay, or bags, etc. You will get. Okay, so if you want to take one sample, okay, if you collect all the if you collect only from one particular drum, or if one pallet or bag, and you are doing the inspection, that is termed as a primary sample. Okay, if for example there is two drums, okay, or 10 drums, there are 10 drums of chemical is there. Okay, from each drum you are collecting one sample, or randomly, or from all the 10 drums, or randomly from 5 drums, and you will mix the sample. Okay, so 10 grams, 10 grams, 100 grams you took from 10 drums. Okay, this 100 grams you will mix it. Okay, and you will form a new sample. That sample is called pooled sample. Mixing of multiple primary samples is a pooled sample. Clear? So you can also define here how many primary samples or pooled samples to be created in the system. Clear, right? Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Then reserved sample. Okay. So reserved sample is whatever sample you are collecting, you will reserve some sample from that to uh, do some stability analysis for that, or in future you need to have some analysis if required. So you will reserve that sample. Okay, in your particular QM location. Okay, so if you want such kind of a scenario to be captured in the system, this reserved sample will be there, reserved for you in the system. That is a reserved sample. Okay, we'll see in real time how this sampling, physical sampling will work. Okay, so this is actually whenever there is a physical sample requirement is there, then only the sample drawing procedure will be used. Else sampling drawing procedure will not be used. Okay, it's not a mandatory always to use sample drawing procedure. Whenever there is a process industry manufacturing and you need to capture the data for the physical samples, okay, then only sample drawing procedure is required to create a physical sample. But majorly in all relevant related process industries, okay, like food manufacturing, chemical manufacturing, pharmaceutical industries, life science industries, we will go with sample management. Okay. Okay, clear? Any doubts?
What is so? For example, we are reserved some quantity for sample drying procedure.
Mm.
So for stock purpose, stock point of view, what is the impact that is? So we are not including that particular sample in the stock. How?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, if you want to see, generally, uh, organizations will not bother of this sample, because there is hundreds of kgs you will procure. In the 10 grams, 20 grams you will take, or like 100 grams or 0.5 kg or 1 kg you will take. Okay, so it's a lot quantity, means it's a big quantity they'll procure. Generally they will not bother of 1 kg. Okay, because there will be always, there is a tolerance, wastage will be there. So still they will consider this as a part of production process. We consume 100 kg of raw material itself. Okay, so if you want particularly to show the consumption, then they will take this as a destructive sample. Whatever the sample you use, that is consumed for quality inspection process. That's where the quality, that's where the cost will impact for this consumption, or it will be removed from your stock. Majorly, this destructive sampling is used only for the high valued products. You want to have the means what we call tracking, high level tracking, each and every gram to be tracked because of costly of item like diamonds, gold. Okay, for example I'm saying, so it's a high valued items is there, no, for that items only, if you want to track for consumption everything, this department is used this particular kg or gram for doing the inspection. So to track that purpose, we'll use the destructive sampling. Otherwise, the quality sample will not be tracked. It is a part of your storage. If you take 100 grams of sample also, still the quality after inspection and you are posting the stock, 100 kg will be in your stock itself. Okay, clear?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so with this I'll end. So it's already 11 o'clock. We can stop over here, and so if you have any questions, we can discuss now. If you need any clarifications or questions. Okay, from Monday we'll start the uh, exercises. Okay, so I'll have a small round of brush up for each topic, and we'll create each master data. You need to create your own master data, and you have to use that master data during your inspection process. Okay, each set of so from, we have 10 people, we need a 10 sets of master data from each one. Okay, that's how we'll plan for testing. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Deepak. Yeah, if you have no further questions, yes, we can conclude the session, but please take some time to fill out the feedback form.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to visit our Vimeo page and follow for more upcoming videos.